Welcome to Haunted, a strange and ghostly happening. Today I will be reading a number of medieval ghost stories translated and kindly given to us by Jeremy Harte. The first is not set in this rugged landscape of Yorkshire, but actually in Cambridge. Near the castle and town of Cambridge, there is an ancient place that locals call Wandlebury, now quite desolate, girded by a low bank or wall that runs round the hill. And this is what was handed down, that if an armed man should ride up that hill at night and pass through the bank, alone under the moon, and call out, "Man to man!" then in the shadows on the further side of the hill, he will see another knight come mounted and armed for fight, heading to him at full charge. And they fight, and one of them falls or the other. So there was a knight, Osbert Fitzhugh, and he came riding to the castle in that country, where he was received with great courtesy. Evening fell, and they sat in the hall by the fire, where tales were told, and amongst them this one of the fortress at Wandlebury. But Osbert did not believe, and he walked out, calling for his squire to fetch a coat of mail and bring his great horse. They rode to the hill, and Osbert sent his squire away, passed through the rampart, and shouted the words, which no sooner had he done than his adversary came at a gallop, lance against lance in the moonlight. The woods snapped, and they laid into one another with swords, but Osbert was no weak fighter, and the other gave way before him, and at last fell down from the saddle. And when Osbert took the reins of the strange horse, as victors do, his enemy reached for the splinter of a lance and hurled it at him, where it pierced his thigh. But Osbert called his squire and rode back to the castle, him and the two horses. And when the people ran out to see him, he only said, "It is true." Then doctors were brought to tend his wound, and everyone admired the horse he had bought, with a proud high neck and fierce eye, and shining black mane and tail. They stood wondering until the first break of day, when the cocks crow. And at that the strange horse broke from the groom's hand and struck high with his hooves, and no man saw him any more. Then Osbert rode away and never came to that place again. But every year when the night came round that he had fought this fight, the wound that was healed would open again, and he would bleed as much as he did before. This from Gervase of Tilbury in the year circa 1200.